Growing a personal brand is a spiritual discipline. It's a way to connect to the Creator, to know the God within, and to understand what divine calling is on your life. Here are the 8 things that showing up on social media will teach you and how it applies to your spiritual evolution and development. Number 1 is it shows you how to show up when no one is watching. If you're only creating something because you're getting a lot of likes and a lot of views and a lot of followers, which is what everybody's dream is when they first start to create, then when you don't get a lot of likes, views, and followers, you won't create. Your creation becomes dependent on validation, and living for validation from others is not a godly pursuit. That's not staying connected to the Creator, to the source. Consistent creation requires that you stay detached from the outcome, because if you're only creating from the outcome, you're not going to actually create consistently. And everybody knows that in order to actually get that result that you want of consistent followers, likes, and views, you have to put yourself out there consistently for a while and learn to stomach and tolerate being ignored. Learning to be devoted to creating whatever it is that you want to create through building your personal brand without the applause, without the validation, just having the faith that your vision will come to pass if you keep going, means that you will have to figure out how to show up when no one is watching, until eventually people do. Number 2 is choosing to not abandon yourself. When you decide that you are worthy of your desires, that your desires are holy, and that your dissatisfaction with not having those desires is also holy, and that the thing that is pushing you to create something in your life that you don't currently have isn't some curse, but is actually there to move you to go and get it, to go and create it. You have to block out the noise. There will be other people who say that is a stupid idea, you're not going to be able to do that. People will project their own limitations onto you, and you have to learn to tune it out and to decide that where I put my attention, where I put my focus, that is what grows. That is what reality is. No one is seeing reality. Everybody is just seeing how they see reality. So if you were given glasses that are full of limitations because you were born into a family with a lot of limitations, you can take those off and put on new ones. And there will be a process where you're switching back and forth and you're learning to just permanently put in the contacts of seeing your vision come into reality. And understanding that even when you're coming across obstacles, that's not a sign that something isn't meant for you. Even when things aren't working out, they're not growing at the level that you're supposed to. Even when things are seemingly not working out, that actually is working out, because it's there to teach you something, to grow you, to help you become the kind of person who gets the vision that is in your mind. And it is a consistent commitment to not abandon yourself, to continue putting yourself out there regardless of what your outcomes seem in the moment. Number 3 is telling the truth even when it would be easier not to. Authenticity is pretty much the only way that you're going to be able to stand out in a saturated market. The more you are, and the more you that you allow to be seen online, in public, the faster your growth will be, the better your growth will be, the more people who are actually there to support you and who will eventually become clients because you can also support them. That requires authenticity. If you really want a long-lasting personal brand that brings you dream opportunities, speaking opportunities, or music opportunities, art, collaborations, business, whatever it is, creating your own market in this modern world will require you to speak your truth, but you have to be willing to upset other people. And number 4 is responding before reacting. If you have created anything, you know that feeling of working really hard on a post, putting it out there, and for it to not get a lot of traction, and then you start freaking out and then you just want to delete it. That is a reaction. You put something out there, you're not getting the response you want. Instead of pausing and saying, oh, is there something about this that I could learn to become a better creator? Is there a spiritual lesson in this that I can learn? How to respond to failure, how to respond when I'm discouraged. Knowing that these things are emotions that will come and go. You ride the wave of feeling like a failure, because what it is to be successful is feeling like a failure most of the time. It is a complete and utter mistake to think that being successful is filled with mountaintops of success, jumping from success to success. No, of course not. It's literally not knowing what you're doing, feeling incompetent, and gaining competency. You have to get used to and learn to actually enjoy the process of learning. And learning requires not knowing something at the beginning, being bad at something at the beginning. And it's so, for me personally, the more that I put myself out online, the more I'm actually drawn to doing things that I'm not very good at, but that I can get better at. I'm like, oh, I want to get better at piano. Oh, all I have to do is literally play and practice and learn more and figure things out and research. And it's not a big deal. It's actually fun because I enjoy it. That's what I'm going to do in my free time, is learn to play piano. Anything you want to learn, you can learn, but you have to not react when you are feeling like things aren't going your way. When something that you worked hard on isn't performing, instead of spiraling, learn to pause, regulate yourself, keep that piece of content out there, even if it gets no views. I've had posts that I put out that I thought weren't doing well, and then later on I check it and I'm like, oh, low-key, that got a lot of views. I just had to let it breathe. That's not the case for everything though. Sometimes you put something out there and it just does flop, and that you have to be okay with withstanding that as well. And that strengthens your character as a person. When you practice it in these little ways that are actually low stakes, like, let's be for real right now. When you put something out online, it's not the biggest deal in the world, right? You could literally delete it if you wanted to, but don't. It is a spiritual discipline. You're developing your character as a person who can say, I worked really hard on this. I put myself out there and it didn't get the response that I want, and I'm okay with that. Developing that muscle, oh my God, it's going to be so good for your relationships. It's going to be so good with your relationship with yourself. You learn to trust yourself. You learn to believe in yourself. You allow yourself to be demonized by other people, villainized by other people, because you know, I walked in integrity. I did my best and I put myself out there, and I'm proud of that. The next spiritual lesson is letting yourself be enough. It is so tempting to think, oh, when I have a more aesthetic apartment, or, when I have better skin, so I won't have to be insecure about how I'm showing up on camera, or when I know how to do my makeup better, whatever it is, whatever you think that you are not enough now, if you say, what if I am enough now? What if showing up as I am with all of my strengths and my weaknesses, with the equipment that I have, with all the limitations I have, those create style. We don't want to see perfect lives, perfect everything. Oh, I have no flaws. I have no faults. Everything in my life that's not even real. And we are craving realness more than ever before now. So choosing to say, I get to show up as I am and know that I'm enough, that goes so far beyond just growing a personal brand so you can get followers or whatever. That is a commitment to yourself, of trusting yourself, of being in this moment and saying, I'm going to show up and know that I'm enough. I'm worthy now. The sixth spiritual lesson is not chasing what isn't meant for you. There will be people who are in your niche who are going to randomly blow up and you're not. There will be people who are doing things that you think are not as interesting or cool as what you are doing. You have to develop perseverance. It is slow growth to grow in a way that isn't relying on gimmicks. You still want to learn like hooks and calls to action, and know, of course, how to learn the skills of content creation. Like, those are foundational. Definitely you have to learn those, but if you focus on other people and how they're growing, or how fast they're growing, or how slow they're growing, whatever, and try to do things that are actually not what you are supposed to do and how you're supposed to do them, it's just going to take you longer, and it's just going to be a more miserable process. So growing a personal brand will literally eventually lead you down and require you to stop chasing these things that aren't actually for you. And that is something that doesn't just apply to social media. That applies to everything. And that's what makes it a spiritual discipline, is because it's a transferable life skill. Learning to focus on your mission, your calling, your vision, and doing that, accepting that, not living the life that you think that you should have or that you wish you had, but actually living the life that you have, playing the cards that you have, finding what you uniquely are meant to do. And when that actually happens, when you lock into that, you will be so grateful that you didn't pretend to be someone else or something else. If you go down that path, and many people do, you will find it to be unfulfilling and meaningless. So you might grow faster in this direction, but eventually you'll always have to come back to here and find what's really meant for you. So just stay the course. Keep going. The 7th lesson is learning to be curious over judgmental. So if you post something and it doesn't do well, you can ask it with judgment. Why isn't this working, right? How come this isn't working how I wanted it to work? Or you can ask it the same exact question with curiosity. Why isn't this working? Same exact question, trying to figure out why it isn't working. Completely different though. When you learn to attack your obstacles and your problems from curiosity, it's more fun. It's like doing a puzzle. There's an amount of joy in it, right? It actually feels good to have a problem and to solve it. But if you have to have this specific result, if you're so attached to this result and you have to have it now and your life is miserable and meaningless without it, and you see life as black and white, you are going to stress yourself out. You're going to burn out, and you're actually not going to be producing a lot of stuff, and you're not going to be creating because it's such a miserable experience. You have to learn to let go of the misery, to say, I deserve to be happy. And in order to be happy, I have to approach things from curiosity instead of judgment. That is the only way that I will be able to withstand the long road of creating a personal brand. And this is not something that can just happen overnight. It's actually more effective to approach it with curiosity because it is long-term going to keep you in the game. The last spiritual lesson that you learn from growing a personal brand is trusting your unfolding. Surrender is the biggest strength. And when you are putting yourself out there consistently, you have to understand and let go and let yourself gain the skills that you need to gain, both emotional and practical, right? Maybe you don't know actually how to edit very well, and you just have to learn how to edit, and learning how to edit takes time. Maybe you have to learn how to integrate getting content in your lifestyle, and it's embarrassing to film yourself in public. It's embarrassing to show up on camera and have confidence, right? Those are things that you have to just allow yourself to grow in, and that's a whole identity haul. That's a whole lifestyle overhaul. Like, you have to change so much about you, and maybe you're not getting the results, because you don't have those skills. But it's not like, I'm not getting these results because I don't have these skills, like, right? You have to approach it as like, I guess I just have to get better at this, right? If you're eating a plate of food and you don't like what you're eating because you burnt the chicken, you can't berate yourself and be like, you're such a stupid chef, you don't even know how to cook chicken. Like, you can, but is that gonna make you and inspire you to become the world's greatest chef? I mean, maybe, but it's just gonna be miserable. And I personally just don't think that a life of misery is for me, and I don't really think it's for anyone, to be honest. So I want max results, max enjoyment, and in order to do that, you have to surrender. You have to learn to trust the unfolding. I first started creating content in 2019. It took me a whole year to get my first viral video. And then I think it was like 4 years after that of creating music content to get a bunch of celebrity interest. I posted a few singing videos in a row that did really, really well, and a bunch of crazy people liked it, like Doechii and Janae Aiko and Baby Rexa and Mario and all these celebrity vocal coaches. That's what I wanted to happen when I first started, and it took so many years to get there because I had to learn all of these lessons. And I want to shortcut those lessons for you if that is something that you're interested in. What took me 5 years could literally take you 1 year or 6 months or maybe even sooner. So learning to trust that your results are feedback and to not rush them. Because remember that opportunities also come with responsibilities. So if you're not able to handle the responsibilities now, your opportunities are probably being delayed because you just have to grow in that way. And that's okay. One of my clients was showing up online for a really long time. She was posting, I think, every day, and she was getting like 200 views, 500 views. And that was about 6 months ago. And only until recently did she have her first video that broke 100,000 views. I'm so proud of her, because of all of the times that she showed up consistently not getting those views. And now since then, she's gotten several videos that are over 10K plus. And I think who she was at the beginning, she wanted those results immediately, but she had to keep working and keep going, keep putting herself out there, making her page look like it was all about her niche before she was getting those views. If you are a spiritual creative who wants to build their own market, their own group of supporters, followers, clients, so that you can make digital products that actually you care about, so that you can have clients that need what you uniquely do, apply these lessons and know that this is a long-term plan. This isn't a short-term thing. You're creating a life for yourself. So make sure that the life that you're creating is something that you actually want to do. And you have to learn how to love this process of becoming. And if you want help, or if you need a guide and you want to shortcut your success instead of having to spend years and years and years learning these lessons, you can apply to work one-on-one with me, and that is in the description. All right, that's all I have to say for the day. I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.